Very good evening once again. Today I am going to discuss with you the quantum mechanical model of atom. If you look at this model, then this quantum mechanical model of an atom will give you the view of an electron in three-dimensional space, the wave character of an electron, and uncertainty in its position and momentum gave a serious blow to Bohr's model of an atom. So according to Bohr, the electron revolved around the nucleus in certain well-defined circular orbit. If you talk about the nucleus, the electron revolve in the particular orbits, but the idea of uncertainty of the position and velocity overruled Bohr picture for fixed orbits. Thus, classical mechanics could not describe the behavior of electron in atoms correctly. Therefore, the scientists started looking for a model which could incorporate the dual character of matter. It means here the Bohr model is not successful. That's why the new model, that is quantum mechanical model of atom, came into existence. So this resulted into a new approach. It is also termed as quantum mechanics or wave mechanics. It is also termed as quantum mechanics or wave mechanics, right? And after this is a branch of science that takes into account the dual behavior of matter. मतलब ये branch है science की जो deal करेगी dual nature of matter के साथ, जबकि बोहर मॉडल में dual nature of matter के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं बताया गया था. So quantum mechanics was developed independently by the scientist Werner Heisenberg and Erwin Schrödinger. If you look at it, then it is mentioned here, and they developed the quantum mechanical model of atom in 1926 to 1927, and they both worked for it, and they came to a mathematical equation that is termed as Schrödinger wave equation, right? So I will write on the next slide what is Schrödinger wave equation. Schrödinger wave equation is written already here. If you look at it once again, it is psi square phi upon psi x. I am writing here psi square phi upon psi x. It is like this, and after that there is psi square phi upon psi y square. This is x square. Psi square phi upon psi y square, then psi square phi upon psi z square. If you go through it, then it is equal to plus 8 pi square m plus 8 pi square m upon n upon it's upon h square, it's upon h square e minus v phi into phi is equal to 0, right? This is the equation. This equation deal with the three dimensions of the electron, that is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So on the basis of the quantum mechanics, Schrödinger proposed a model of an atom which considered wave particle duality of matter and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. And for a system such as an atom or molecule whose energy does not change with time, Schrödinger equation can be written in this way. So if you go with the next part here, just coming back to it, so they have also described here that is what is x, what is e, what is v is a potential energy, e is energy, and psi represent the Schrödinger wave function, and psi square that represent the second derivation with respect to z. Means in 12th standard you will, or in 11th standard you will do the differentiation in mathematics. This is a step of that, understand? And x, y, z is representing the position. So you can write this equation in this way also. After this we are coming to this part. This, if you look at it, then you will understand this is quantum mechanical model of an atom. In short, you can write Schrödinger wave equation as h phi is equal to e phi, where h cap is a mathematical operator. In physics you are doing vectors, and there this term is there. This is Hamiltonian operator. So Schrödinger gave a method for constructing this operator for the expression of total energy of the system. So total energy of the system will take into account the kinetic energy of all subatomic particle. Means if you are talking about atom structure in which there is nucleus, electron, right, and we are talking about this whole system. Okay, so it will let you know about the kinetic energy, about the potential energy of all. So solution of Schrodinger wave equation, give E and psi. After this I am directly coming to this. You can see there it is also written at the lower side that what this represent. So you should know what equation it is and what it tells you, okay. So Schrodinger equation, it is very important on behalf of the psi and psi square. You should know the importance of it also, that what is the importance of psi and psi square. So let's see what is the importance of it. So when you talk about it in the physical sense, psi gives you the amplitude of wave. It gives you the amplitude of wave associated with the electron. Amplitude of wave associated with the electron. It will let you know if the electron is there and wave is there, and then what is the amplitude of that wave, that will represented by psi. Okay, and we know that in this case of light wave, square of amplitude of the wave at a point is proportional to the intensity. There is one more term in this equation, that is psi square. Extending the same concept, you will get here the value psi square, that may be taken as the intensity of the electron at any point. It's very important. Please note it down, that psi will let you know about the amplitude and psi square will let you know about the intensity. Okay, it will let you know about the intensity at any point. So psi square will determine the probability of finding the moving electron in the given region. Suppose this is a region and you want to know that the electron will be present here or not. So psi square value will let you know that the probability of finding the electron is there or not. So psi square has been also called the probability density. It is also termed as, psi square is also termed as probability density. Okay, and psi, simple psi is represented or called as probability amplitude. It is probability amplitude and it is probability density. So this is about the importance of psi and psi square. This should be known to you. If the value of psi square will be high, it means probability of finding the electron in the given space will be high, and if psi, value of psi is high, it means the amplitude of the wave will be high. Fine. So this is about Schrodinger wave equation. Let's see what is next. Quantum mechanical model of an atom. If you talk about it, then in this case we have to deal with some quantum numbers, in which you should know firstly the concept of atomic orbitals. You should know the difference between orbit and orbitals. So I am going to discuss with you that. What do you mean by orbital? What do you mean by orbital? And what do you mean by orbit? If you talk about orbital, so it is the region in the space around the nucleus. Around the nucleus. This is the nucleus. This is a space here around the nucleus. This is a space around the nucleus. Okay, where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. That is termed as orbital. You should know the difference between the two. Okay, and this is orbital. And what is orbit? It is well defined circular path around the nucleus in which the electron revolve. This is only this pathway. This is orbit in which the electron will revolve. And what about orbital? It represents the three-dimensional motion of the electron. It will let you know the motion of the electron in x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, right? On the other hand, this orbit will represent the planar motion of the electron only, means only in one direction. So orbit will gives a definite path of the electron, means it is moving like this in this direction, and this concept is not in accordance with uncertainty principle. But orbital does not specify the definite path, because around this nucleus wherever you can find the electron, and according to this concept electron may be anywhere in this region. So this is according to uncertainty principle. And if you talk about all orbits, these are circular, but orbitals have different shapes. Orbitals have different shapes. I will discuss the shapes in the next slides. Then orbits do not have directional character, means x-axis, y-axis, z-axis is not there in case of orbit. But in case of orbital, except s orbital को छोड़ के all other orbitals have the directional character because it is three dimensional. So an orbit can accommodate electron equal to, this is very important, in lower classes you have studied a Bohr-Bury rule, that how many electron can be present in the given shell, that is equal to 2n square, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 according to KLMN shell. So you will find the maximum number of electron in it. But in case of orbital, cannot accommodate more than 2 electrons. This is very important. In case of orbital, you cannot have more than 2 electrons. So we will discuss about orbital in detail with the help of the quantum numbers nextly. If you look at this slide once again, it is written that solution of the wave equation gives the possible energy level in the electron can occupy. The quantized energy states and corresponding wave functions are characterized by 3 quantum number. First is principal quantum number, means if you want to know that in case of orbital, right, this is the nucleus and this is the nucleus and this is the orbital around it, right, and you want to know that which shell is there. If shell is there, then further shell, which sub shell is there. You want to know all these things. This can be clarified only with the help of these quantum numbers. Let's see what these quantum number states. So this is the difference of orbit and orbital. Already I have discussed with all of you. After this, I'm going to discuss orbital quantum numbers. First is principal quantum number. I will come to this slide. I will explain here that what is principal quantum number. Quantum number, let's see what is it. This is very very important to understand this. This quantum number determine the main energy shell or level in which the electron is present. Suppose this is nucleus and this is around it K shell, this is L shell, right? We know from lower classes that we always give them name, but principal quantum number will let you know the main energy shell or level in which electron is present. Means electron किस shell के अंदर present है, main shell के बारे में आपको ये बताएगा. और इसको हम डिनोट करते हैं हमेशा n के साथ. प्रिंसिपल क्वांटम नंबर डिनोटेड विद n, और इसकी वैल्यू क्या हो सकती है 1, 2, ओके. इसकी जो वैल्यू है दैट कैन बी 1, 2, 3, 4 सो ऑन. ओके, सो लेट्स सी हाउ विल यू राइट फॉर इट. The quantum number also identifies the shell as I told you, and if n is equal to 1, it means I am talking about the first shell. First shell means I am talking about K shell, and if n is equal to 2, it means I am talking about L shell. If n is equal to 3, I am talking about M shell. If n is equal to 4, it means I am talking about N shell, right? So this is about K, L, M shells. This will be told by principal quantum number. This help you to determine the average distance of the electron from the nucleus. Coming here, this will help you to know this is nucleus and this is electron. If you know the value of this quantum number, you can easily calculate the distance between the nucleus and the electron. And if you know the quantum number is 1, you will easily tell na, that n is equal to 1 means that electron is in the first shell next to nucleus. So it will let you know the distance between the nucleus and the electron. So as the value of the n will increase, it will be increasing. It means the distance of the nucleus and the electron between the electron will be increasing. Thus principal quantum number gives the average distance of the electron from the nucleus and energy associated with it. This is about principal quantum number. Understand? So I am just coming to the slide again. If you see, it is written this quantum number determines the size and energy of the orbital. It is also identifies the shell. With the increase in the value of the n, the number allowed orbital will increase. Size of the orbital also increase with increase of the n. Obviously, if n is equal to 1, so it will be the first shell. N is equal to 2, second shell. Size will be, radius will be increasing, and you will give the name KLMN shells, principal quantum number. After this you come towards orbital quantum number, or you can say it is orbital angular quantum number, orbital angular quantum number, or you can give it a name azimuthal quantum number. This is azimuthal quantum number. Okay, so what is it now? Let's see. This quantum number determines the angular momentum of the electron. You know the meaning of momentum? Momentum is product of mass and velocity, but when you talk about angular momentum, means in the circular path you are talking about the momentum, not in a straight line. So this quantum number will let you know the angular momentum of the electron. Please note, it will let you know about एंगुलर मोमेंटम ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन. ठीक है, ये आपको एंगुलर मोमेंटम ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन के बारे में बताएगा, और इसको आप डिनोट करोगे L के साथ, जबकि आप प्रिंसिपल क्वांटम नंबर को डिनोट कर रहे थे N के साथ. यू विल डिनोट इट विद L. ओके, एंड द वैल्यू ऑफ L गिव्स द व्हाट इज़ L. वहाँ जब आपने प्रिंसिपल क्वांटम नंबर की बात करी तो N था, शेल के बारे में बताता था. जब आप एजीमुथल क्वांटम नंबर की बात कर रहे हो, L से डिनोट करते हो, तो ये आपको बताएगा सब शेल के बारे में. ठीक है, ये आपको सब शेल या सब लेवल के बारे में बताएगा इन अ गिवन प्रिंसिपल एनर्जी शेल टू विच द इलेक्ट्रॉन बिलोंग्स. तो हाउ विल यू गो विद इट? यू कैन से दैट L इज इक्वल टू can be 0, 1, 2, 3, means its value will start from 0, and you can get directly its value by using the formula n-1. अगर आपको प्रिंसिपल क्वांटम नंबर की वैल्यू पता है तो आप इजीली L की वैल्यू उससे फाइंड आउट कर सकते हो. ठीक है, सपोज़ मुझे पता है कि प्रिंसिपल क्वांटम नंबर की वैल्यू 1 है, तो मैं यहाँ 1 पुट करती हूँ. 1 - 1 क्या आ जाएगा? 0. मतलब जो एंगुलर है मोमेंटम और एजीमुथल क्वांटम नंबर है, उसकी वैल्यू आएगी मेरे पास 0. ठीक है, क्योंकि L 1 था. ठीक है, अब नेक्स्ट देखते हैं. नेक्स्ट आई विल राइट हेयर एजीमुथल क्वांटम नंबर में इफ़ n इज़ 2, तो L निकालना है. आप लिखोगे n-1, तो इसमें 2 - 1 कर दोगे तो इक्वल टू क्या आ जाएगा? 1. इसका मतलब L की वैल्यू 1 है, लेकिन हमने 0 से स्टार्ट करना है, तो L को आप क्या लिखोगे? 0, 1. ठीक है, ऐसे ही आगे देखते हैं. अगर n की वैल्यू 3 है तो L क्या आ जाएगा? फिर से n-1, तो इसकी वैल्यू 3 पुट कर दो. n की 3 है तो इट विल बी 1. तो इट मीन्स अगेन आपके पास जो L आएगा 3 - 1, सॉरी, इट इज़ 3 - 1 मीन्स 2, so it will be 0, 1 and 2. Understand? So for each value of n there are n possible values of L. So in other words, the number of subshell in the principal shell is equal to the value of n. मतलब अब आपने प्रिंसिपल क्वांटम नंबर से शेल निकाल ली, और एजीमुथल क्वांटम नंबर से आप क्या निकालोगे? सब शेल्स के बारे में. ठीक है, ओके. एंड आफ्टर दैट आई जस्ट वांट टू लेट यू नो वन मोर थिंग दैट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट हेयर. अगर L की वैल्यू आपके पास, यहाँ पे लिख रही हूँ साइड पे, अगर L की वैल्यू 0, मतलब आप बात कर रहे हो S ऑर्बिटल की. अगर L की वैल्यू 1 है मतलब आप P ऑर्बिटल की बात कर रहे हो. अगर 2 है तो D ऑर्बिटल की बात कर रहे हो. अगर 3 है तो F ऑर्बिटल की बात कर रहे हो. और अगर 4 है तो आप G ऑर्बिटल की बात कर रहे हो. और अगर 5 है तो आप H ऑर्बिटल की बात कर रहे हो. अंडरस्टैंड? सो दिस इज़ अबाउट एजीमुथल quantum number, right? This is very, very important. It will let you know the number of subshells in a shell. Clear? So if you want to explain it more, then I would like to go here once again. Suppose I know the value for n, it is equal to 1, and L value will be n-1, it will come out to be 0, and subshell here will be 1 S, because it is 1, so I am writing 1. Because it is 0, so I will write here S. Number of subshells here are 1, and if you go with 2, it is 0, so it means how many subshell will be there? Sorry, what will be here? 0 and 1, because 2 - 1 will be 1, so it means 0 and 1. तो इट विल बी 2s एंड 2p, बिकॉज 0 के लिए s होता है, 1 के लिए p होता है, और 2 मैं इसलिए लगा रही हूँ क्योंकि n की वैल्यू 2 है, तो इसके 2 ऑर्बिटल्स हो गए। सेम वे आप आगे जाओ, अगर आप कहते हो कि n 3 है, 3 - 1 करोगे 2 आएगा, तो मतलब आप 0 1 और 2 इसकी वैल्यूज़ आ रही हैं, और जब 3 वैल्यू जब 0 होती है तो वो s होता है, जब 1 होता है तो वो p होता है, जब 2 होता है तो वो d होता है, ठीक है। तो 0 का मतलब यहाँ पे मैं क्या लिखूँगी इसको, ये 3 है तो यहाँ पे 3s लिख दूँगी। ये 0 1 2 तो आपको एस पी डी के बारे में बता रहा है, लेकिन ये जो प्रिंसिपल क्वांटम नंबर है वो आपने इसके आगे लगा देना है। तो इसका मतलब यहाँ पे कितने ऑर्बिटल्स हैं, कितनी सबशेल्स हैं, 3 सबशेल्स हैं इसके अंदर। दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। हाइड्रोजन को छोड़ के सबशेल्स विद इन द गिवन शेल दे डिफर स्लाइटली इन एनर्जी। द एनर्जी ऑफ द सबशेल विल इंक्रीज विद इंक्रीजिंग द वैल्यू ऑफ एल। जैसे जैसे एल की वैल्यू आप इंक्रीज़ करते जाओगे, सबशेल की एनर्जी भी इंक्रीज़ होती जाएगी। विद इन द गिवन शेल एस सबशेल एल इज इक्वल टू 0, लोएस्ट हैज़ अ लोएस्ट एनर्जी, मतलब इसकी वैल्यू सबसे कम है एनर्जी में, एंड पी सबशेल की उससे ज़्यादा, और एफ़ की उससे भी ज़्यादा। फॉर एग्जांपल इन 4th एनर्जी शेल, मतलब पहले एस आता है, फिर पी, फिर डी, फिर एफ़, तो एफ़ की जो एनर्जी है वो सबसे ज़्यादा होती है सबशेल के अंदर। सो एंगुलर क्वांटम नंबर विल डिटर्मिन द सबशेल इन अ गिवन प्रिंसिपल एनर्जी शेल। मतलब ये हो गया कि जैसे सपोज़ ये न्यूक्लियस है, इसके अराउंड मुझे पता है कि ये मेरा मेन एनर्जी शेल है, ठीक है। अब इस शेल के अंदर कितनी सब शेल्स हैं और उसकी एनर्जी क्या है, वो मुझे कौन बताएगा, एज़िमुथल क्वांटम नंबर। द नेक्स्ट 2 क्वांटम numbers we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.